So crank up your oxygen. We're going deeper into this dive, and we're going to talk about a company that I'm not sure many people have heard of. It's called BSR. Let's talk about BSR, or also known as the Business for Social Responsibility. Let's take a look. BSR. BSR works with members and partners in pursuit of a world in which all people can thrive on a healthy planet. Live your best life now. Our goal is enabled by long-term relationships with a growing growing member network of more than 300. I think it's up towards the 400 number now. When I was doing my research on this, I just don't think they've updated that. Most influential and dynamic companies. Together, we collaborate to create resilient, thriving enterprises. Live your best life now, and shape an economy based on equity and sustainability. Our efforts are enriched by collaboration with a diverse network of partners and stakeholders from civil society, philanthropy, I can't say that word, blah, 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 and the public sector. So we're already getting an idea of how this works. They are all about the SDGs, and it's all about creating a network and between the companies and the SDGs. So it's quite obvious what's going on with this. So we're looking at a network of over 300 companies that under the ESG control to promote these sustainability agendas, including the Alphabet Agenda. BSR helps connect the elite investors to the companies and provides data, metrics, and consultation to the companies as to increase their profits via ESG implementation. So this company not only networks the two between the investors and the companies, they help network it, but they also help the companies to reach the goals to get the investors to pay for it. So they're involved with a lot of stuff. I got a little video here of them explaining exactly what they do. Check this out.
A BSR collaboration is one in which we bring together our member companies with stakeholders such as civil societies, government organizations, their value chain partners, to address issues that are systemic in nature, that they don't have a solution to within their four walls.
When we are successful, an organizational change occurs inside our member companies. Some structure, a new role, a new program, a new set of investments, that change is the mark that we are having impact on the world.
Yeah, so you can hear it right from the horse's mouth there. They're working on different programs, policies, and changes for companies to make to fit to reach the ESG goals. It's about helping them not only connect with investors, but to provide the policies in order to stay above the bar so they continue to get the money. So if we keep going on the BSR website, we will come across a section called their focus areas, and they've got 6 of them. And we should not be surprised by these at all. Climate change, equity, inclusion, and justice, human rights, nature, supply chain sustainability, sustainability management. No surprise there. We take a look at these and what they say. I couldn't get it in the screenshot, but I wrote down what it says. And just above it, it says they provide thought leadership. That's scary. That's we're going to control how the company thinks. Thought leadership, strategic advice, and opportunities to collaborate on the world's most important sustainability issues. And we can see the 6 right there fall right in line with Agenda 2030, the SDGs, and everything that we've been talking about as far as bringing in this beast system, this controlling global government system. This is heavily involved with all of that. Now, we took a look at all that stuff. We're going to go ahead and take a look at their members list. Okay, so I didn't take a screenshot of their members list because it's really, really long and I didn't want to go through all of it. So I just picked out a few and made my own list. I definitely tell you guys all the time, don't always take my word for it. Actually, don't ever take my word for it. Go and find this stuff on your own. Do your own research. There's no problem with that. And so if you guys want to check out the full list, just head over to their website and check it out. So I picked a few that I thought were interesting. So we're going to take a look at these. So this is their memberships of the BSR. Just a few of them. So they've got their executive members, which they call the Sparks members. It's kind of interesting at Sparks because CERN has an event called Sparks. So it's I don't think it has anything to do with each other, but it's just kind of interesting. It's the same name. Just throwing it out there. But they're executive members. To get into this group, you have to be invited by BSR to do it, and there's only 4 of them: American Express, Coca-Cola, Google, Microsoft. Coca-Cola is kind of interesting how it's thrown in there. But if we look at their members, Adobe, Amazon, American Express, AstraZeneca, AT&T, Bank of America, Bayer, BD, Berkshire, Best Buy. I mean, look at these. Blackstone, yeah, that's the Blackstone that you think it is. That's the investment group. Bloomberg, Bridgestone, ByteDance, who's involved with TikTok. That's right. You got Cardinal Health, Chanel, Chevron. There's Chick-fil-A, guys, right there, second column down at the bottom. They are a member of BSR. Coca-Cola, Dell, Discord, Dole, Dollar Tree, Dropbox, Etsy, Gap, General Mills, GM, Google, Hertz, IBM, Johnson & Johnson, Kaiser Permanente, Kohl's. There's Kohl's. Levi Strauss. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on to the second list. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. You guys can always just go back on a rewind and take a screenshot if you want to look at it further. Here's some more, though. L'Oreal, Mars, the candy, MasterCard, Mattel, Toys for kids. Interesting. McDonald's, Medtronic again, Merck, Meta, of course, Microsoft, Mitsubishi, Morgan Stanley. I mean, look at these. Nissan, Nike, Nordstrom, PayPal, Pepsi, Pfizer. Just keep on going. Salesforce. I told you Salesforce was going to pop up again. Samsung. Oh, there's Silicon Valley Bank. Huh. That's interesting. Snapchat, Sony, State Street. Oh, yeah, there's State Street. Remember we're talking about BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street? Well, there's State Street right there. Target, Toyota, Unilever. If you guys want to dive into what Unilever is involved with, they go from anything from Dove soap to UK-based ice cream. They've got their hands in everything. UPS, Warner Bros., Walt Disney, Visa. And there's a lot more, but like I said, I just couldn't get them all. 3, 2, 1. It's just, you just see how connected these companies are to this stuff. We know what BSR is involved with. And you just see how it just keeps going and going and going. So, we took a look at some of their members. And like I said, don't take my word for it. Go check out the website if you want to see what else is on there. And maybe there's a company that I missed that you know of. And it's you want to see with it involved. So, now if we head over to the BSR's collaborative initiatives page, we're gonna find one of significant interest. So we'll take a look. The Partnership for Global Alphabet Equality. Now this is another one that I've mentioned before. We're gonna get in a little bit deeper with these people. Coalition of organizations committed to leveraging their individual and collective advocacy to accelerate alphabet equality and inclusion globally and drive positive change. This group right here is a big one. This is a big one. Now, you may not have heard of this company, but you may have heard the term PGLE. And instead of trying to explain it myself, I'm just going to go ahead and let this lady, Beth A. Brooke Marcinek, explain it from BSR 19. This is from 2019. Check this out.
Join in.
Enormously important, and I want to thank BSR for all of your work with us and support.
We're proud to house it.
Thank you. But this story about Davos and the handful of us that found each other, so the PGLE, Partnership for Global LGBTI Equality, is in collaboration with the World Economic Forum. So this is a group that was formed in collaboration with the World Economic Forum after 5 or 6 years of working behind the scenes with senior leaders at just a handful of companies. This organization was founded in January of 2019. Can you believe that? The World Economic Forum just agreed to do it this January. So they're in collaboration with them. We can use their channels of distribution, their brand. They're now in the mainstream, on the main stage in Davos and into the mainstream of the programming at the World Economic Forum, which, as you know, if an issue isn't discussed, within the World Economic Forum, it sends a huge message to world leaders. It sends a huge message that it is not important, that they don't have to pay attention. Now they do. Also working with the UN, trying to get these companies to, you have to have signed on to the UN standards in order to join the partnership.
How many companies have signed on to that now? A couple hundred, I think.
Yeah, 270.
270. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. I knew we would know that. 270. Our goal is to get many, many more, and then to work around the world, both not only in sharing best practices among the companies, but their strength in numbers. So with the platform of the World Economic Forum, the power of the UN, and then finally the strength in the companies working together, where when you combine the economies, the corporate economies of those 14 countries, we're bigger than a lot of countries. So tremendous power. In Davos a couple of years ago, Vice President Biden met privately with those of us working behind the scenes, and he sat down with us and looked us in the eye, and he said, you companies can do what we government cannot and will never do. You have to change the world on this issue. So.
There's a lot there. There's a lot there. And you've got the connection, the PGLE, and the BSR. So you're seeing this connection, and she mentioned it. Keep in mind, I just want to throw this out there. She said 270 companies. That was in 2019. There's like 400 now that are connected to the PGLE. So there's a lot more now. But you've got the connection. She just mentioned it. You've got the PGLE, you've got the WEF, you've got the UN, and you've got the BSR. Those are those are four powerhouse groups that are all connected, all united, all working together on this. She also said the combining of the corporate economies involved with the PGLEs is bigger than most countries' economies. So you're seeing where all the money is coming from. Remember that speech by Charles, COP26, where they're trying to bring all the money together? This is how they're doing it. Now, before we talk about the PGLE, who is this chick? This crazy chick that could be Joyce Meyer's sister or mother or however you want to put it. Beth A. Brooke Marcinak is the former EY Global Vice Chair and the global sponsor for EY's diversity and inclusiveness effort. She also worked in the U.S. Department of Treasury during the Clinton administration, and she's also on the Women's Advisory Board for the WEF. Yep, she's on the WEF as well. So not only is she working with the WEF through PGLE, but she's on the Women's Advisory Board as well. So now that we know who that is, and we got a rundown of how all that stuff is interconnected, let's take a look at this monster of PGLE, shall we? First, let's take a look at their Who We Are page. We always get a lot of information from this. The Partnership for Global Alphabet Equality, PGLE, is a coalition of organizations committed to leveraging their individual and collective advocacy to accelerate alphabet equality and inclusion globally and drive positive change. She talked about how there's specific companies that came together to form it, and we get an idea of who it is. I'm not talking about the who. I just wanted to say who again. The partnership was announced at the WEF's annual meeting, January 22nd, 2019, in Davos, Switzerland. The founding members, and you'll recognize a lot of these companies, multinational companies, Accenture, there we go, Julie Sweet, WEF again, Boston Consulting Group. If you want to take a look at their board, there's several of them who are all wrapped up in Davos as well. Cisco, we see them connected to all these groups and partnerships and donors and stuff. There's Coca-Cola again, no surprise. There's Deloitte again, no surprise. Deutsche Bank, EY, that's where the chick came from. Edelman, Johnson & Johnson, no surprise. MasterCard, Microsoft. P&G, which is Procter & Gamble. They're involved with a lot of health stuff as well. PepsiCo, PwC, Salesforce. I told you we would be seeing them again, and Scotia Bank. Partnership for Global Alphabet Equality is an initiative of BSR, UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, and the WEF. So again, we got confirmation of just how connected they are. If we keep going on their page, we just want to confirm it again. They are involved with the UN, they're involved with the World Economic Forum, and they are a collaboration with BSR. These are 4 powerhouse groups all coming together to push the same alphabet agenda, and we're going to go over some of the people who are just involved or who are involved with this company or this organization in a minute. But what we want to do first, because it's important that we do, we want to take a look at this UN standards of conduct, because in that video, Beth said in order to join this network, in order to join the PGLE, the company must sign and uphold the UN standards of conduct. So let's take a look at what those standards are. So in order to get into the group, you have to follow these. We're not going to read over everything. It's just, you can check it out later if you want to. Again, that's why the rewind feature is so great. Just take a look though. Number 1, respect human rights. So businesses should develop the policies to go along with the alphabet agenda. In the workplace, eliminate discrimination. So you can't have any discrimination if you're hiring people. Provide supports. So you've got to have a positive, good vibes. Yeah. Let's get hippie with it. Good vibes for all your alphabet people that work there. 3, 2, 1. We're going to take a look here. Number 4, prevent other human rights violations. So businesses should not discriminate. Suppliers, distributors, customers, all that jazz, kind of repeating what they were doing before. And then in the community, act in the public sphere. Businesses are encouraged to contribute to stopping human rights. So it's about putting the money where your mouth is. You have to support and donate to other groups as well. So again, you can go and read through those if you want to get a specific thing, or you can check out their website. It's on their website if you want to check it out to get an idea of what you have to sign and uphold if you want to be a part of this. So that's contributing again to your ESG score in order to follow along with this. Now we're going to take a look. Let's see here. We're going to take a look at the PGLE gap tool. So they developed a system. They developed a tool. It's a survey for companies to make sure that you're following those standards of conduct correctly. So just like the CEI was for the HRC to score your company, this is for you to fill out yourself and send it in as well. So if you use this system called the GAP tool, it was created for businesses to see if they're meeting this criteria. And just like the HRC CEI scoring, this is another tool to make sure that you are hitting your ESG scores. So I'm not going to explain this. They have a video that will explain it. It's not too long, but this will give you an idea of just how this works. Check it out.
Introducing the UN LGBTIQ+ Standards Gap Analysis Tool. The tool was developed by BSR, the Partnership for LGBTI Equality, the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, the United Nations Global Compact, and the World Economic Forum. This first iteration of the tool provides a learning platform to help companies identify strengths, gaps, and opportunities to improve their performance on LGBTIQ+ equality in the workplace. The tool's self-reported survey spans 20 questions, grounded in the UN Standards of Conduct for Business, tackling discrimination against LGBTI people. These aim to foster equality in all workplaces for LGBTIQ+ employees and the broader community. Upon completion of the survey, respondents may view and download a report of their progress against the UN standards. While translated into an aggregate numerical score, the tool also breaks down scores by category and management stages, offering insights into key areas of strength and targeted areas for improvement. Participants are encouraged to use the tool for internal reflection and learning on how to continually improve LGBTIQ+ equality in their workplace.
Just sounds like another one of those corporate instructional videos, doesn't it? Don't you just feel so much more educated learning that? But no, for real though, it gives you an idea of who's behind it, what the tool's about and how they do their scores and how it affects things. This is a tool that was developed by the WEF, UN, PGLE, BSR to make sure that you're hitting those standards of conduct created by the UN to make sure that you're staying above that ESG bar. So it's just another tool to do that. So we got an idea of how this works, who's involved and all this stuff, but let's get an idea of the companies who have signed up for the UN standards of conduct and align themselves with the PGLE. Okay, so this list is even bigger than the BSR list, but it would have taken forever to try and pick some out. So I've got the entire list here. We're not going to take very long going through this, but they're just to give you an idea of how many and who are involved. We're going to go through this. I'll point out a few as we go through, but again, go back and check it out or go to the website, check it out. You'll be surprised at who'd you find. So let's just take a look at a few of these. Let's see here. I mean, you've got Accenture again, of course. There's Accenture, Air Canada. You'll see a bunch of these other ones on there. I'm sure a lot of them you don't know, a lot of them you do. A lot of these companies are behind other companies and whatnot. Google's there, of course. Paramount, PayPal, PepsiCo, Pfizer, all these groups. We're going to keep moving. Again, you can go back and check it out or go to their website. You just take a look at all these things. American Airlines, no surprise there. I mean, who else is on there? Just take a look. Hilton is on there. The hotels are on there. Gucci's on there. We know what's involved with Gucci. We've already discussed some of that. Ralph Lauren is on there as well. If we just keep going, Bayer is on there. Best Buy, Ben & Jerry. Yeah, no surprise with Ben & Jerry. BMW, Johnson & Johnson, of course. Kellogg is on there as well. Intel is there. Scotiabank again. Smirnoff's on there. I mean, we just take a look at all these companies that are involved with the PGLE. You get an idea of how deep this goes. Calvin Klein's on there. Keuring's on there. They're the ones. Balenciaga. That's the group that owns Balenciaga. That should be no surprise there. Levi's is on there. L'Oreal again is on there. Spotify, no surprise. Stanley Black & Decker. Yep, that's right. Your coffee maker is a supporter of PGLE. Carlyle Group. Yep. Citibank. It just keeps going, guys. All these. There's the North Face right there. There's the North Face. Yep. Tommy Hilfiger. Just keeps going. Just keeps going. Coca-Cola, again. They're heavily involved with this stuff. Deliate, again. Deutsche Bank on there. MasterCard. Medtronic again. Microsoft. Metro AG. Merck Group is on there. Monsanto. There's Monsanto. Twitter. Hey, Twitter's involved with this one too. Uber, UBS, Under Armour, Unilever again. It just keeps on going. eBay, Nokia, Nike, New York Life, Netflix, Nestle, NASDAQ, National Bank of Canada. I mean, it just keeps going. Virgin, Visa, Westpac. Facebook is on there. There's EY, of course, that's Beth's company that she was involved with. It just goes, guys. Xerox, even Xerox, your copy machines. So it just gives you an idea of how many companies are involved with this stuff. These people are all being pushed into playing the game or you get destroyed, pretty much. It's if you don't play the game, if you don't sit above that ESG bar, your company is going to fail. Your company is going to sink. And that's how they built it. That's how they built the system. These companies understand that in order to play ball and gain the trucks of cash, they must throw this agenda forward, just like the climate, social justice, and all those other agendas. They have to play the game, otherwise they get crushed underneath.